There's a moment in Jujutsu Kaisen that haunts me, not because of its gore or supernatural terror, but because of something far more unsettling: watching a pink-haired teenager accomplish what seasoned sorcerers couldn't, without breaking a sweat or losing his smile. Picture this: Sukuna's vessel, arguably the most dangerous person alive, casually munching on convenient store food while his classmates strategize for hours about cursed techniques they'll never master. Meanwhile, Itadori Yuji just acts. No overthinking, no paralysis by analysis, just pure, devastating effectiveness wrapped in an innocent grin. Here's what's really messing with my head: this kid accidentally stumbled upon a 2,500-year-old philosophy that modern productivity gurus charge thousands to teach, and he doesn't even know it. You see, while we're all drowning in self-help books and optimization hacks, desperately trying to force our way to success, Itadori embodies something the ancient Taoists called WU WEI. But here's the kicker: he's not practicing it, he is it. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking this is just another anime analysis, let me hit you with something that'll make you question everything you think you know about achievement. The secret isn't in doing more, it's in becoming the type of person from whom right action flows naturally. Stick with me, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you see not just Itadori, but your own untapped potential. The modern world has sold us a lie. We believe that grinding harder, thinking more strategically, and forcing outcomes through sheer willpower is the path to mastery. We are like that friend who learned 3 chess moves and thinks complex strategy is the answer to everything. But watch Itadori in his first real fight. Does he calculate cursed energy ratios? Does he analyze his opponent's weaknesses for 10 minutes before striking? Hell no, he sees Megumi in danger and moves. Pure instinct. No hesitation. No second guessing. This is what the Taoists called action without effort. But don't let the translation fool you. This isn't about being lazy or passive. This is about something far more dangerous: becoming so aligned with the natural flow of a situation that your actions become inevitable, unstoppable, and impossibly effective. Think about it. When was the last time you saw Itadori freeze up in a crisis? When has he ever overthought himself into paralysis while people around him suffered? Here's where it gets interesting. Modern neuroscience has actually proven what those ancient philosophers intuited. When you are in a state of flow, what researchers call optimal human performance, a specific part of your brain literally shuts down. The prefrontal cortex, that chattering critic in your head, goes quiet. No more "what if I fail?" No more "what will people think?" No more endless analysis that keeps you stuck while opportunities slip away. And Itadori? This kid lives in that state. He's walking proof that when you drop the mental noise and trust your deeper intelligence, you become capable of things that look supernatural to everyone else. But here's what really got me thinking. Remember when Itadori first encountered cursed spirits? Any normal person would have had a complete psychological breakdown. Instead, he adapted instantly, not because he's fearless, he clearly feels the danger, but because he doesn't waste energy fighting reality. The cursed spirit exists. People need help. He moves. This is the essence of what ancient masters called the way of water. Water doesn't argue with rocks, it flows around them. It doesn't resist gravity, it uses it. And given enough time and persistence, it carves through mountains. Now, you might be thinking, sure, but Itadori has supernatural strength and speed. Of course he can act without thinking. That's exactly backwards. Itadori doesn't have confidence because he's strong. He's strong because he has a specific type of confidence, the kind that comes from being perfectly present in the moment, unencumbered by the mental baggage that cripples the rest of us. Watch him interact with his friends. He's not calculating social strategies or worried about saying the wrong thing. He's just there, fully engaged, responding authentically to whatever emerges. And people are drawn to that presence like moths to flame. This is something most of us have completely forgotten how to do. We're so busy managing our image, controlling outcomes, and protecting our ego that we've lost touch with our natural responsiveness. We've become like computers running too many background programs, technically functional, but operating at a fraction of our capacity. But what if there was another way? What if instead of adding more techniques, strategies, and mental frameworks to your life, you started subtracting the unnecessary ones? What if the path to mastery wasn't about learning more, but about unlearning the habits of overthinking and second-guessing that keep you trapped? This is where Itadori's story gets really compelling, because if you look closely at his character development, he's not really learning new abilities. He's removing the barriers that prevent his natural abilities from flowing freely. Every major breakthrough he has comes not from acquiring more power, but from dropping resistance to Sukuna's strength. to his friends' trust, to his own capacity for growth. The ancient Taoists had a term for this process. They called it returning to the uncarved block, becoming like a child again. Before society taught you to overthink everything, children don't hesitate to help someone who's hurt. They don't analyze whether their intervention will be appreciated or successful. They just act from their natural compassion. This is Itadori's superpower, and it's not supernatural at all. It's the most human thing possible, the capacity to respond to life with your whole being, without the filter of fear and self-doubt that paralyzes most adults. So here is the question that has been keeping me up at night. What would your life look like if you stopped trying to force outcomes and started trusting your natural responsiveness? What if, instead of spending hours planning the perfect approach to that difficult conversation, you simply showed up with honest intentions and let wisdom emerge in the moment? What if, rather than overthinking that creative project until you never start it, you took the first obvious step and let momentum carry you forward? What if you became like water, soft and flexible, but ultimately unstoppable? The truth is, we all have access to this state. We've all had moments where we acted with perfect timing, said exactly the right thing, or solved a problem with effortless clarity. Usually, we dismiss these as luck or coincidence. But what if they're not accidents at all? What if they're glimpses of what becomes possible when you get out of your own way? Itadori Yuji isn't special because he's the protagonist of an anime. He is compelling because he shows us what we could be if we stopped overthinking and started trusting the intelligence that flows through us when we are truly present. The ancient masters weren't teaching esoteric philosophy. They were pointing toward a practical technology for human excellence, one that works just as well in modern Tokyo as it did in ancient China. The only question is, are you ready to stop forcing the river and learn to become it instead? Because once you taste that kind of effortless effectiveness, there's no going back to the exhausting world of constantly pushing against the current. And that, my friends, is when life stops being a struggle and starts being a dance.